Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tea Time Truth Talk with your host, Alicia, and my co-host, my father.
Call me Rev Rich, and as always, I hope you're enjoying all our episodes on our YouTube channel with every encounter. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel as well as hit the bell so that you're notified of any new videos that hit that channel. And if you're listening to this on our podcast, the podcast is also called With Every Encounter, with various episodes that you can listen to. And you can subscribe to the podcast at iTunes, Google Podcast, Spotify, even iHeartRadio, anywhere that you listen to podcasts. So I hope you join us on a weekly basis. So today, Alicia, what's our topic?
So today I wanted to try something a little different, and due to spooky season, as we like to call it, or Halloween month, I thought we could dress up today and be witches and warlocks and have different elixirs today and crystals and pumpkins today. And we have something with spider venom and a brand new bottle that has called Toxic Brain Juice, which, as you can tell, has been drinking out of, or some has been taken out of, which whoever did it, we haven't figured that out yet. Beware, because of the fact that that is very potent and dangerous and can mess your brain up, which leads us to the topic today of why do we stay in a relationship if it is toxic? So today the situation goes, my best friend has been in a toxic relationship for a while. The guy makes her do things that she doesn't want to do and always has to make him happy when he doesn't get his way. We have told her to let him go and move on. She has broken up with him a couple of times, but she keeps going back to him. Their relationship keeps getting worse, to the point that it's become more violent emotionally, and I have told her there are better people out there, and I'm afraid that it's going to become more physically violent. But the thing I'm asking today is I don't understand why she won't let him go.
Okay, so that comes back to a lot of what we talk about mind memes. Now, we had this discussion prior to the show about what toxic means. Because from a day of where I grew up back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, what I saw as toxic was a lot worse than what it is today. But it all comes back down to the same thing. It's perspective. And the perspective that we're looking at happens to be the girls in this case, because she's receiving advice. She's receiving, information. And I'm pretty sure that she sees in herself what's going on. But there's also a part of her that her perspective, and it's not even about the guy, it's probably about herself, that says, I don't love myself enough and I need something. It doesn't always have to be a person. I need something in my life. Sometimes when we talk about alcoholism or drug usage or even anything else, we call it escapism. And it's a way to escape our problems without actually facing them. So in this case, this person, and again, in her case, is a gentleman who is in her life, is her escapism. So the problem is, no matter how bad...
Hello.
We have a visitor.
Hi, buddy. You came to be a part of the theme?
This is Onyx.
Yes, he is our black cat, newest member of the Pacheco household family.
Well, going back to our topic, like I said, we look at it as she needs something or someone to complete her because she feels there's something there. So no matter how bad it gets, her objective is to hold on to this, because if she loses this, she loses herself. So the work that needs to be done is she has to empower herself. And as her friends or as her companions, her teachers, anyone who helps her in any way, they need to stop focusing on the guy and focus on her. Because until she fills that void herself, and knowing that she's good enough, that she is enough, I've gone through that myself. There's an old song that says, looking for love in all the wrong places. I've been in that situation where, I've been in different relationships. And now that I've grown more spiritually and emotionally, I can look back at those relationships, not in a bad way, but in a good way, to say, I now understand that at that point in my life, I was looking for something. I was trying to fill something that the only person that can fill it is me. Once I do that, then and only then can I understand what it is to love. And when I understand what love is, now I can share that love. So even though we want to put the guy in the highlight, the true sense of the word is that the girl is the most important part here. She needs to work on herself. And my advice to the friends and to everybody who's helping her, and their intentions, I know 100% is that they love her and they want her to be better. But the more you attack what she feels is completing her, the less she's going to give to your advice. But the more you empower her to let her know you're enough, you know, do the things that you like to do, understand that you're important, then and only then can she empower herself to release the lack that she sees and to see the positivity and the powerfulness that's in her already. And I'm pretty sure that this relationship isn't the only thing that she goes after the same way. So she's always looking for something to fill her void, but she has to learn that she's the one that can fill it. And she can only fill it with herself.
Wow. I think I learned something there myself. Oh boy. No, you're absolutely right. It's definitely, and then on the besides not highlighting the boyfriend as well, from relationships that I've dealt with from other people, not me personally, but from the guy's perspective as well, it's definitely, from what I've learned, is the guy himself needs to work on himself as well, because he is taking, most times in toxic relationships, from what I've seen from my generation, again, every generation is different, but it's mostly the anger of not loving himself and the troubled past he has, he will take it out on his significant other, which is something that he has to recognize and learn and rehabilitate himself to be a better person, a better man, because there are people out there as well who think they're fine, they're okay, and they know that it is, but they keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Definition of insanity. Yes, if you didn't know that saying, it's been equated to every person, but from what I understand, it came from Narcotics Anonymous. And it says that doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and expecting a different result is actually the definition of insanity.
Huh.
And to go back to your point, we talk about that. It's that the problem in our society today is that we're so worried about being independent that we get into a relationship and forget that there's an interdependency. Mm-hmm. So the way I like to look at it, or when I speak to couples, is we are two individuals. We have two individual gifts that we were meant to bring into this world, to give each other. And when we find each other, our job is together to find what it is for us to do. Then, once we do that, then we find that interdependency. You know, I need my wife for certain things in my life, and I hope that she needs me, and we complete each other by being interdependent with each other. We're not asking either one person. And I think that's the biggest problem, especially in that relationship, is that each one of them is looking for the other person to fulfill them instead of them finding that common ground that says, you help me where I feel my weakest, I help you where you feel you're weakest, but yet we're still two individuals that are attracted to each other because there was something there, a gift, a love, a feeling, an emotion that made me say, hey, I want to be with you and I want to join my energy with you. We're not even talking about anything physical, but just our energy. You know, again, I talk about my own wedding. I mean, there was times back in the early days, we were so focused on trying to be independent and being who we are and not losing ourselves that we forgot that we were in a partnership together. Mm-hmm. So it took us a while to break through that. We still have work to do, but we're now celebrating our 20th year anniversary in December, where I've seen marriages that don't even last 5 years now. So that to me is the most important part. And you're right. Both people need to work on themselves individually. And if they truly do that, they will find themselves, if they were truly meant to be together, that once they start working on themselves, they will find that joining, that emotional connection between the two of them. Or if you've ever seen magnets, magnets will attract to each other, or if they're turned in another way, will repel each
Yep.
other. So if their energy wasn't supposed to be together, they will find themselves separating and attracting people. Where perfect example of that is we have this title that's been going all over Facebook and everywhere else, the law of attraction. And people think, oh, if I just think a certain way. No, it's an energy that goes out that attracts that. So we kind of remind people, you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. So if what you are attracting into your life keeps coming back, that tells you there's something inside of you that needs work to begin to attract that which you are looking for, or that which what you need. And once you can get that into your head and stop blaming others, which is a whole other lecture, you will understand that life can be the way you want it.
Wow. Yeah, you are absolutely right. Well, I think that answered about everything for that situation and more. So, to the person who is in that relationship, I hope you got something out of it. To the friends that are helping that person, I hope you also got something out of it. And I want to thank you again for another wonderful talk and another helpful advice.
And if no one else has told you, we love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And we'll see you on the next episode.